Good morning. This is the first video to a walk with Coffee Neil. So I'm here today in Pugney Country Park, which is Wakefield by junction 29 of the M1, and my aim today is also to walk around here, walk up to Sandal Castle, and let's have a look and see what it is. At the moment I'm on 3,500 steps, so we'll see how long it takes to walk up to Sandal Castle, and hopefully you'll enjoy the video. So I'm just going to walk down this path. Obviously you can see what the path's like. It's alright for people to push prams and wheelchairs down, so it's quite accessible. And then for the kids, obviously here's a little climbing frame for them, and there's little things like this all over the park, and I'll try and get as much footage of it as possible. So as you can see, a little train station there for a little train what goes around. People can take the kids on. A little cafe called the Boathouse there, where you can get breakfast, dinner and refreshments. And then there's a park over that side somewhere there, I think it is. Obviously if you're bringing your children here, just to let you know, it is free entry into the park. And there goes the train. Looks pretty cool. They all look like adults on there though. You know what, looking there at that train, most of them were adults. I think that's probably just lazy, just to sit on there and go, come on, we've got to get some exercise in, haven't we? So the next cool little quirky thing I've just found is called over under hurdles, which is pretty cool. Again, just walk around this park and you find little cool things like that. So down here there's also a bird-eyed, but it says bird-eyed only, so I'm not going to really walk down there. Over the lake, and you can sort of see into the centre. I think that's the cathedral. It could just be a church though, but I'm pretty sure that is Central Wakefield. Happy to be corrected there. Come into another cool little thing, some parallel bars. Again, like I said, there's plenty of cool little stuff around here. This is pretty cool too, but it looks like somebody's stolen a piece, which is a great shame. And now on the path, what takes you up to Sandal Castle. I've walked up here before, so I know that it's all uphill, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get lost along the way. So I'm on the path up to Sandal Castle. I have walked up here, well not this particular path, but I have walked up to it before, so I know it's all uphill. So chances of me getting lost, probably highly likely. It's a little walk pathway through, and you come up here and fortunately see trolleys in there, which obviously is not great, is it, when you've got such a nice place like this to come to. And I've got this uphill journey up to Sandal Castle. To admit though, I do quite like this path up. It's got quite a scenic view to it as well, so it's not a bad little walk up. I mean, it's all uphill, so I'll be out of breath soon, but still, it's quite a nice little walk. And it continues, the path what continues to go. I can, however, see the castle in the distance, so it's getting closer. A little walk over, something a little bit quirky. And it continues. So we're nearly there, so give it 5-10 minutes and we'll probably be there. I'll say 5, it's a bit lazy if I say 10. I finally made it up here. I'm gonna get a coffee now. I deserve it while I get my bread back. What I do like about up here, there's plenty of places to sit and taking the views. And when you've walked and it's all uphill, I mean, don't get me wrong, there is a car park down there as well if you want to walk, but if you walk up from Pugney Park up to Sandal Castle, it's nice to relax. So let's see what's on offer in here. So I've just got the coffee from the cafe behind me, which is Castle Cafe. So it's £2.60 for coffee, which is what you'd sort of expect to pay now, but if you are up here, the sandwiches are quite expensive. It was like £7 for an omelette or £5 for a bacon sandwich, so just bear in mind. Although what I will say, there are toilet facilities in there and disabled facilities in there, so that's pretty good, and the cafe's pretty cool inside. It's nice and clean and the staff are very friendly, so I guess you have to sort of expect those things when obviously we're looking after, you know, these nice little scenic places, and obviously there's also like a little bit of a extra tax on the things we'd buy up here. So I suppose I can't be too harsh on it, because I think you have to sort of expect that. Not sure what purpose this serves, but I suppose somebody can sit down on it. Pretty cool as well, just walking around, that's pretty cool. Don't know what it is, but there's something I really love about bridges, whether they're spectacular ones are in London or in cities, or whether they're just little ones like this which look like they might fall to pieces at any part. There's just something spectacular about them. Ultimately, that you have some steps to literally go nowhere. Look, not really sure of the purpose of those. A little bit of info about the Battle of Wakefield here. So this is what the little bridge looks like. I'm going to walk across it now, which feels quite secure actually. It actually looks a bit weaker than it actually is, actually really, really strong, which it would be. Really, isn't it? Now I'm going to take a walk up to see the views. Got all these steps to walk up, look, but you know, like, it's cool, another little cool bridge to walk up, and all these steps. The bonus thing I will say is it's all downhill on the way back, which I'm now looking forward to. And I've made it, and I've got it all to myself. So I got my coffee, made it up here, on about 7,500 steps now, which isn't actually that many, but even though it's all uphill, it's pretty good once you get to the top. Once you reach the destination of the top, it's pretty spectacular. I think what you can see there is the rugby ground, I may be wrong, and as you walk further across here, what you also start looking at is you start getting into the town centre of Wakefield. So I'm not sure how far the town centre spreads, but it's still a spectacular view either way. As I'm moving across here as well, what you'll find that this is the lake that I've just walked up from. Yeah, it looks a lot closer from here, but it's quite far, I do promise you that. You can see over there, which I think is Emily. And as you walk across, you can see, okay, it's just housing estates, and that was very beautiful, very nice, very scenic. And then once you get to the end of here, what you do find is you find the castle itself, which is pretty quiet today. There's quite a few people knocking about, but because it's quite windy, I think people are, you know, not staying outside as long. And the main attraction itself, Sandal Castle. So I'm just going to have a quick glance around. You can see all from around here. I don't know the history of the place, but obviously I'll try and learn about that in future. I failed my history exam. I pretty much failed all my exams, so I weren't the smartest person. But I try and learn as I get older, and I try and appreciate more things what happen like this. View from the other side of here. It's cool though, it's pretty cool, quite like it. So that's where I just walked up to get those views from, which were pretty spectacular, and I could have stopped up there a lot longer, but it were very windy, as you could hear in the recording. Then this is the front of it, which again is pretty spectacular looking, scenic when you put them both together like that, and all the little rock things around it too. Good thing now is all the walk is all downhill. I'm on about 8,500 steps. So just as I'm walking down, the whole aim of me putting this together is to sort of appreciate places which sometimes might be far away, might be close by, but maybe I can't say underappreciated, because there'll be a lot of places I visit, you know, which are tourist attractions as well. But what I do aim to do, I try and want to point out the positive stuff, because in life, you know, like I see a lot of things go up and it's all about what's negative about places. So I want to just try and focus on what's positive about places. Don't get me wrong, if something deserves criticism, then obviously it will get it. However, I'm not looking for criticism. What I am looking for is the peaks of places rather than the advantages of the places rather than the disadvantages of them. I know they're just little gimmicks, but I do quite like these little things, what I'm finding around the park. Sit-up beams. Nah, I don't think I'll be trying that today. And the balance run. Anybody who knows me knows I've got no balance and would probably fall off there and break my leg. Yeah, another little cool attraction of the park. Quite like this little boat. So here we are, Wakefield's very own beach, look. I mean, it's probably not classed as a beach, but I'm going to call it that, even though it's only a little bit of sand and only a couple of metres long, but still. You've got to take these things as they come, aren't you? Don't get me wrong, that looks a bit like a scene from Only Fools and Horses in Miami twice, but I don't think you're going to get crocodiles coming out of the rivers in Wakefield, are you? All in all, I think it's pretty good round here. I think it's quite peaceful with the water. I think it's a nice little walk up to Sandal Castle. Got a couple of alternatives for cafes. The pathways are pretty good. I think it's pretty good. So the car park's pretty spacious. It's only £2 for 4 hours, which is pretty good value. I'm not going to eat here because it's quite expensive and the queues take quite a long time to get down. But other than that, pretty great place to come.